Welcome to the video, guys. For you that may not know me, my name is Creed Trades. I'm going to be posting videos, educating you guys and helping you through your trading journey on this GFT YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the steps that I would do to make sure that you have the best trading funded journey with GFT. I'm going to be breaking down the challenges that we have for you guys to look through. And I'm going to be showing you guys different ways of trading funded accounts and the approach on the funded accounts that you should have as a trader. So guys, the first thing that we're going to do is go on to the GOAT Funded Trader website. The first tab that we have to look for is normal or swap free. Basically what this means is you want to be trading normally and you have swaps. So swaps are basically where the markets roll over and you pay a fee for holding that position. Or we can use swap free, which is slightly more expensive, but it stops us from allowing that cost to come into play and we have to compensate for it. So for the people that want it easy and they want a simple challenge, I would go for swap free because you don't have to pay all these different fees. Then we have one step or two step. These are basically, one step is going to be a little bit more expensive and the rules are going to slightly change, which I'll break through. However, the two step is very simple, standard rules, and we have two challenges. So one step is just one challenge that we have to take. So we only have to make a certain amount one time, whereas the two step is that we have to make a certain amount for the first step and then a certain amount for a second step, and then we get to the funded stage. The next stage that we have is go, no time limit, or swing. Swing is only allowed on the swap free. So if you're more of a swing trader, I'd go swap free, go two step or one step, and then I'll go for the swing trading. So let's break that down right now. Let's do a 10K account challenge, okay? So step one in this challenge is going to be 10% target. So we're going to have to make 10%, which is $1,000 on a 10K account. There's no minimum trading days, which is brilliant. There's 4% daily drawdown. What this means, guys, is basically you can't lose more than 4% in a single day. So make sure we're managing our risk effectively every single day. The good thing about this is that we have 12% maximum overall drawdown. So over the course of a month, 2 months, whatever it may be, as long as it's not in one day, which most challenges across the board are usually about 10%. This gives us an extra 2% leeway. Trading period, there's no time limit on this. Leverage is up to 1 to 50. What that means is basically we can trade on a larger amount of allocation or leverage. And profit split, no profit split for stage one. Stage two is going to be a target of 6%, and then we have a minimum trading day of 0 again. The daily drawdown is 4% again, and then we have the maximum drawdown, which is 12%, as the same as the step one. Good thing about the step two is that we only have to make 6%, so that's only 60% of what we need to make on stage one. So if you make 10%, 6% should be quite easy. You think that, and sometimes emotions can come into play, and your head's not in a great spot because you think it's easy, and then for me personally, for my journey, I do fail a lot of step twos. That's like my thing that I have. I can pass a step one because there's not much risk, but now when you move to a step two, you've just passed a step one, so you've got that under your belt, and now step two is a little bit more pressure in my mind. So when you get to step two, just be a bit careful. And then we have the GOAT account. So this is when you are funded. So this is when you pass stage one, stage two, and we get to a GOAT account, and you also have your first payout on demand with this account. So let's say, for example, we passed this $10,000 account, and then we went into the live markets and made $1,000. You would then be able to withdraw that $1,000 instantly. And of course the daily drawdown is still in play and the maximum drawdown is still in play, and we get profit splits up to 95%, which is very competitive in the industry. Let's go through my favorite challenge. This is the challenge that I would typically go for, and this is the challenge I would recommend you traders do. So we're going to just go for normal, so we're not going to go for swap free. We're going to go two step, we're going to go GOAT, and we're going to go for a 100K challenge for this example. We also have a 5K and an 8K challenge, which are only $30 for the 5K, and then for the 8K, it's $54, which is brilliant. But for this example, we'll use the 100K. So this challenge is $398, and this is very competitive in the industry. And in addition, there's loads of discounts being run. So I'm going to put a discount code in the description of this video so you guys can get your first account for a little bit less than the cheap prices that we give. So of course, this is a two step. So the first step, we have to make 8%, which again is very competitive in the industry. A lot of prop firms like FTMO are 10%. So we've got that little 2% less that we have to make. Minimum trading days is 0. The daily drawdown is 4%. So that's something we need to watch. The maximum drawdown is 10%. Trading period, no time limit, 150, and then we have no profit split on that. Step two is 6%, and then we have no minimum trading days. We have a 4% daily drawdown again, and then a 10% max overall drawdown on this one. No time limit, 1 to 50, and no profit splits on this stage two. Once we've complete stage one and stage two, we then move on to a GOAT account, which is the first payout on demand, of course, and then we have the maximum daily drawdown and the overall drawdown in this as 4 to 10. We get 1 to 50 leverage, and we have profit splits up to 95%, which is incredible. So guys, if you take a challenge today and you pass phase one and phase two, and then you get onto the funded stage, once you get on that funded stage on a 100K account, if you make $10,000, you will get up to 95% of those profits in your bank account on demand within 24 hours, which to me as a trader that's been in the industry for a long time, this is absolutely incredible. And that's why I work with GFT, because they genuinely do give amazing offers and they really want to help you guys out. Let's just quickly walk through the rules that are in play. So we have a little feature here on the website that gives us a little bit of information. So the first one is no consistency rule. So this basically means you can trade however you like. There's no kind of really in-depth rules with this. Some prop firms have consistency rules that means you can't trade one single pair throughout your journey. You can't. The rules just kind of very vague in most prop firms, but with GFT we're saying like no, like trade however you like. We also have lightning fast trade execution. So this basically means we get real-time price feeds. Genuinely, I've traded on GFT accounts and the fills and the speed of the fills is like absolutely incredible. So we have $0 commission on indices and crypto CFD, which is very good. Once you actually get an account, you get a free month of MTJ, which is my trading journey. Great software that I use for back testing. I made videos on my own channel for this, which is a great bonus. So as soon as you buy an account, bang, you're getting MTJ for a month as well. Raw spreads starting from 0.0 pips, which is absolutely amazing. The spreads are genuinely very good, very competitive. I'm not going to say that they're incredible and they're like ridiculous. I traded on Maven recently. I traded on E8 recently. The spreads are quite wide. I traded on GFT and GFT's spreads are quite short. So if you are looking to get a position in Euro USD, for example, you will get filled at a decent price. Whereas on these other prop firms, sometimes their servers are not as good. They don't have as good fills and all these types of things. So we have MetaTrader 4 and we have Match Trade that we're offering for our traders, and there's more coming out very, very soon. We have our own in-house tech, which is absolutely brilliant, and no time limit, so you don't have to trade for a certain amount of time. You don't have the time constraints. Previously, when I've traded prop firm accounts, you have to trade the account within 30 days or something like that. You have 30 days to pass the challenge. In GFT, we don't have that, and it's usually an industry standard now. So now, guys, we can go to the chart and have a look on how we can potentially manage a funded account. Again, this is not the way that I would recommend trading. This is not the way I would tell you guys you should trade like this. It's just how the way I usually run funded accounts and how I maintain them and build them up. So the first thing I really want to talk about is compounding. So if we are in profit and we've made nice, decent trades, do not go back into a loss. Let's use a chart example. So I don't know how you all trade, but I'm going to break down just simple analysis and then give you guys an idea on how I trade. Let's say, for example, we took a short from this order block, for example, and we ran it all the way down to here. Most traders, when they're trading on their accounts, will look at this and then they're going to be trimming and trimming and trimming. And what I mean by trimming is closing the position out at a win, right? However, 9 times out of 10, I will hold my position to full TP. And if I am worried about the trade or anything like that, the maximum I'll do is take half off the table and then leave the rest half and extend my TP. Again, these are all different ideas and different ways we can trade, but I think genuinely if you are trading and you found a nice trade, allow the trade to do its thing. Don't try to manhandle it too much. So this trade here, some traders might get into the position around here, of course, on a smaller time frame, and then once we're falling down, as soon as you see $100, $200, $300, they're going to look to close that and then reset for the next day. I think me as a trader, I like to hold my positions for their final price target. You're leaving money on the table. Your trade is going to hit its price target. Your trade, as long as you've done everything right in your job, your trade should just be allowed to breathe. So let's put this in the perspective of a $100,000 account. So say, for example, on this trade, we were risking 1% to make 5%, which is amazing risk to reward. And then we made $5,000 on a funded account. If we're trading on a Go two-step funded account, we then have 3% to make on this account to pass it. So how am I going to manage that from here? The way I personally like to manage my trades is to never go below my opening balance. So my opening balance on the account was 100,000. If we started off the stage with very nice opening and we made a lot of money to start off with, and now we just need to get over that last little bit, what I would recommend doing is only come into your profit. So risk 1.5%, risk 2%. Do not allow yourself to go back down that overall starting balance of $100,000, because then you just start kicking yourself and emotionally you might not do very well. So if we're only risking our profits and we're going to slowly build the account till we hit that take profit level, where we hit that 8% level, then we're just going to take it slow and we're going to take it calm. The next part is, how do you deal with drawdowns? We're not adding to the position unless we had a predetermined plan to do so. We're not exposing ourselves to risk. We're not also closing the trade out early because it's in a small loss. I see a lot of traders doing this, and this is something I recommend to not do. If the trade is at a loss and you're worried about the loss, you should don't care about the money, don't look at the percentages, look at the trade. Is the trade still looking good for you? And if you believe it is, then hold the trade out. Don't close early, because sometimes if we close early, allow the market to hit your stop loss and then also allow the market to hit your take profit. But once we've actually solidified this loss, let's say for example we lost around 1 to 2%, the balance now is at 98,000. How do we deal with this? How do we kind of emotionally deal with this and deal with this in the markets? The first thing I'd do is decrease my risk. So I'll make sure that I'm not taking major losses. I'm not risking too much. Usually if the market's gone against us, it could be a little blip. So we're going to slowly build the account back up. And then once we get into a little bit of profit, then we can use the profit as leverage. That's the idea. But if you're in a loss, a lot of people are very eager to then take a bigger trade, which occurs to a bigger loss. Again, this is very contextual. It depends on the context of the market, depends on the setup. If you find an A-star setup, then yeah, risk a little bit more. However, do not risk 5% on your next trade, because you're just going to, one, hit your daily drawdown, and two, you're potentially going to blow the account for no reason. You only lost 1 to 2%, and now you just blew the account from that. So my advice would be to not emotionally trade, to not jump into another trade, do not revenge trade, do not over leverage, all these types of elements once you come into a loss. I genuinely recommend just slowly building the account back up, and once we get over the starting balance, then we can start risking the same amount again. Once we actually get onto stage 2, it gets slightly difficult. Like I said at the start of the video, I personally get a little bit emotional about it. I personally don't like trading phase 2, so my recommendation from my knowledge, which I'm still trying to learn, is to be patient. You've done the hard part. The hard part is making that 8 to 10%. However, the second part is more emotionally harder for me personally. So I would take your time, okay? Only trade those A-star setups. Only look for those good risk to rewards. Only look for the slow building trades that will overall get you over that little hedge, and then you'll become funded. Let's look at a trade like this. So most traders will look for this kind of take profit level, and then ultimately this take profit level here. For me personally, on a stage 2, I allow my trades to run. Okay, I allow my trades that smooth move up. But on stage 2s, don't be scared to take profits along the way. And this is the difficult thing with stage 1 and stage 2 for me personally, is that I will allow my trades to run to their take profit on stage 1s, but on stage 2s I recommend trimming. And the only reason I do say this is because stage 2s are a small percentage that we need to make. So those little trades, those little positions that we're taking will add up overall and allow us ourselves to hit that take profit. The difference between phase 1 and phase 2 is that phase 2 is a smaller take profit, okay? It's a smaller profit target, whereas phase 1 seems like it's very far away. So I personally like to play stage 2s differently. And again, guys, this is my personal ideas. This is how I personally do it. It might not work for you, but some people might be able to take a little bit of ideas from me, and then this is how we build, right? This is how we learn from each other. So let's say for example we took a long position from here. For me personally, my risk is going to be very small on the stage 2, okay? And the only reason my risk is going to be very small on the stage 2 is because we have such a small price target to hit. So let's say for example the market come out of this demand zone, and then we started running up, and then we looked for an entry. Once the market reached this level, I'm going to close out more than 50% of my position. And the only reason being is because I'm going to take that win. I'm going to take the win, I'm going to log it into my account, and then that's done, okay? And then I'm going to allow the trades to run to their ultimate take profit with my SL at break even, so I have no risk on the trade anymore, okay? I've bagged my profit, it's hit a decent level, and then the market can run with the rest of the position back down to break even, which in this example it did. So I would have closed out break even. But you might be thinking, Cree, like we ran back up to this supply zone. Okay, cool. We're going to look for another market movement. We're going to look for another trade. We're going to get into another position. But now, instead of us risking the stage 2's starting balance to go below, we've bagged this profit, so then we can just use that profit as a little bit of leverage, and then we compound that and compound that, and slowly we're going to pass that stage 2. Now we can talk about if we hit a loss on our stage 2. So say for example in this trade I took this small loss. I'm thinking, okay, now stage 2, I've already passed stage 1, stage 2 is now in a little bit of a loss. Am I going to be able to come out of this loss and, you know, hit the price target to then get the funded stage? Like I said, emotionally you're really near the funded stage. You've already done the hard part. Now it's just get this last little bit over with, and then you can reap the rewards of being funded. Let's not be emotional. Let's be calm and understand that not all trading wins, okay? You're always going to have a loss, but it's how we control the loss which is very important. How are we going to control this loss? we're not going to increase our leverage. We're not going to take riskier trades. We're not going to look at pairs like XAE USD because it's very volatile and very risky. Again, this is completely up to you. For me personally, I'm going to be only looking for A-star setups. I'm going to decrease my risk ever so slightly and make sure that the account can come back over at least the starting balance, because then when the account's back at the starting balance, then we start again. Okay, you get a fresh start and it's a relief. Okay, if you're going to be looking at trades and you're going to be slowly building it back up, or let's say for example you take a really risky trade, your 1% to 2%, just like we said in stage one, has now become a bigger issue, and now we're going to have to get out of this big loss. Let's allow our losses to be really small and let's allow our profits to be very big. That's what I was trying to say anyway. Okay, now we've discussed the elements with stage one, stage two, and kind of coming up with ideas and how we can trade them. The third step is being funded with us. So being funded is very overwhelming. It sometimes can make a lot of people panic. I know people personally that can trade a funded account, pass it within like a week, and then after that week they get funded, they blow the funded instantly. And it's an emotional roller coaster being funded. You think stage one and stage two is difficult, while funded is slightly more difficult. Again, it depends on you as a person, depends on how you feel. For me personally, when I get to a funded stage, I like to take it slow. Okay, first goal for you is to get your profits out of the market. So you need to pay yourself instantly. So we're going to put on a trade. It's going to be very small risk with a nice reward. And let's say, for example, we want to make 1 to 2 to 3% on the account initially. Okay, and some people might be thinking, wow, that's a lot. But on a $10,000 account, that's only like, what's that, $100, $200, $300, whereas on a 100k account it's going to be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, right? So we need to be thinking about percentage returns and not dollar returns. Okay, so if you're trading on a 10k account and you're slowly building the account up, then brilliant, that's amazing, but when you actually start getting to the 100k accounts, then the money starts becoming a bit like, okay, I want to take this. Can't be emotional towards this. We want to be just trading in regards to percentages and not dollar amount. The amount of 10k accounts I've blew just because I thought the money is just not like enough for me. If you take a trade and you make $100, for me personally, being my full-time job, that's just not enough. Whereas if you did that trade on a $100,000 account, that's $1,000, which is a lot of money. So we need to be thinking in that regard. We want to be making sure that we bring money out of the markets, whether it be 0.5%, 1%, whatever it may be. We need to lock in some profits, because let's say, for example, we're up nicely, then we take a trade and it comes into a loss, and then we lose the account. We haven't extracted any money out of the account. So my first goal personally is to extract the money out of the account. Once we've extracted the money out of the account, we made a little bit of money, okay? And then you can start trading a little bit riskier. You can start trading more comfortably because you've extracted a little bit of money out of the account. Of course, we're on 24-hour demand on the first payout, so make sure you take advantage of that, guys. This is me to you as a trader. Take advantage of that. It's very good. But when we actually make that withdrawal and we trade on the funded, only take A-star setups, only take very good risk to reward trades. Don't over leverage. Don't over trade. Trade one pair, trade two pairs if it suits you, but make sure we're in control and we don't have to trade on the funded account every single day. Let's say, for example, we're risking 1% on a $100,000 account. You could be trading one-to-ones and slowly build the account up, over trading, and then you're going to end up with, let's say, for example, we take 5 trades that are all wins, which you and I both know that they're not all wins. And say, for example, we make $5,000. That's a lot of work to make $5,000, right? But if we find one good trade with 1% risk, with 5% reward, we're going to be hitting that reward and we're going to be taking our profits $5,000 out of the market, which is absolutely brilliant. So make sure you're only looking for those really good setups. So guys, we've broken down the GFT challenges, how I will personally trade them, risk to reward, all these types of things. Again, this is not a video for you to use it like the Bible and live by this. It's just the way I personally trade, and I hope you guys could take some little hints and little tips and advice from this video and then use them in your own trading. All I would recommend to do is just to follow your trading plan, follow your trading strategy, don't over leverage, don't over trade, and just be calm in the environment that you're in. I would also recommend not trading every single day. I think this is a really bad habit from traders, trading every day, over leveraging their positions. All these types of things are just not going to be suited for us at GFT. We're not going to like this style of trading. At GFT, we want to see very professional and well-trained and well-disciplined traders. We want to see the best of the best. We do not want to see you risking full port into gold. We do not want to see you trading extreme amounts of lots in news. Okay, we want very consistent traders. There's no consistency rule, however, but we would like to see traders that are actually performing well in the industry. I'm going to be also doing interviews with the traders that withdraw profits from GFT. So as soon as you buy an account, as soon as you make a bit of money, as soon as that money hits your bank account, let me know and I will interview you and we'll get a video going. Apologies for the not so great setup. I'm not currently at home, so the rest of the videos throughout the month will be me at home in my own setup, comfortable. I'm currently away at the moment, so the setup's not the best. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos for GFT, so make sure you guys lock in and get excited for that. I'm really going to enjoy making videos for you guys and helping you out in your careers as much as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you to it. Make sure you're practicing and backtesting on NTJ. I'll put a link in the description. It's an amazing software that you can use for backtesting. Make sure you go grab a GFT account with a discount code I'm going to put into the description of this video as well. Okay, appreciate you all. Good luck next week in trading, and I will see you soon.